So we've got the Icy Dock here, or the Icy Cube. I'm not too sure. Actually, no. Icy Dock is the name of the manufacturer. Icy Cube is the name of the product. What we'll be doing is testing out some hard drives that are going there, as this is not an NAS station, this is a storage drive, or quad storage drive, and it can use 3.5 inch and 2.5 inch drives. So let's get started. So you get a fairly long cable, and it's a little bit over 1 meter, which is obviously the power source. It's a kettle lead. You get a big power brick as well. Oh gosh, making loads of noise. And this is about 1 meter long as well. And this is quite a big power brick, obviously, to make sure it's transferring the right voltage to the actual storage device. An upstream and USB 3 cable, which is up to 5 gigabits per second, which you're going to need. And you also got an eSATA cable, which is obviously faster than USB 3. And obviously you get the 2.5 inch screws for the hard drives, and then you get the 3.5 inch ones for the hard drives as well, mechanical. And then you get the actual box itself, which is quite cool. So let's talk about the back real quick. So the back has got an 18mm fan in the back, and it's 25mm thick. It's got upstream connection up to 5 gigabits per second, and then it's got an eSATA connector, which is up to 6 gigabits per second, and it's got high and auto low volt fan, and basically you can have it higher if you're in a hotter, denser country where it's always warm and hot. You don't want the hard drive's always going to get hot and that, so you can have that higher, or you can have it on a medium setting, or if you're in a colder country, then obviously a low setting, which will be even more quieter. Then you've got the connector that you can connect the power source to, and then an on and off button on the back. You can also take this fan off the back as well, which is simple. You just hold down this little lever here and then unloosen it, and then it reveals the fan. To be honest with you, you could probably change the fan if you really wanted to and put more of a decent fan in there, but we don't know how decent it is until we actually tested it. So this goes back onto the back and just clips back in, and it's on. Then on the front you've got four bays, which is for 3.5 inch or 2.5 inch, so any one could be 2.5 or 3.5 on the front. And then it's got an intake for air at the front there to keep it nice cool. It's got the Icy Dock logo there, and it's an aluminium base with rubber feet, so it doesn't scratch the surface. So to get the drives out, you press this button, you press it down like that, and then you release the latch like this, and then keep putting it, and there releases the actual tray. And then the tray is to fit a 2.5 inch or 3.5 inch. Now you can't just actually put a hard drive in the actual tray like so, because it won't stay there. That's why we've got screws, so you need to put a couple of screws in there, and then you place it back into the actual body of the system, and then it's in, and it's simple as that. But when I go to get it out, it might be stuck in there like so. So what you need to do is make sure you screw it down. Well, it's falling down all the way down the bottom. That's great. There we go. And that's how you do it. And it does the same with the 2.5 inch drives as well. So looking at the actual body of the tray, it's made out of metal, so it's pretty cool. Front's plastic, and then the actual the lever is actually aluminium. So it's definitely durable and stuff. It's pretty quite cool actually, I like it. So you get 4 trays in there to put 4 drives in there. Doesn't matter what size it is, could be anything from 100 megabytes all the way to like whatever gigabytes or terabytes that you want to put in there. It will actually work. So in there it's got the connections of what you would normally see for the data, and obviously the power connector on a solid state drive or on a normal mechanical hard drive, and it just slots into the back there onto the actual PCB board. So what we're going to do is that we're going to connect up a few drives and then we're going to connect it up to a computer and see and test the speeds of what you should be getting in real world results. So now we've got the Icy Cube on the desk, and it's with a fairly new generation computer. It's running on a Core i7 6700K, graphics cards like GTX 970, decent motherboard and everything like that. And basically it's connected to USB 3 up to 5 gigabits per second on the back of the actual desktop computer. And we're going to do a real world result, what you would do at home. We've got a 700 megabyte file, and we're going to transfer it onto the desktop, which has also got a solid state drive in there. It's also got a mechanical hard drive and 3 solid state drives in there, which is up to 500 to 550 megabytes per second read and write speeds. Obviously the mechanical hard drive is connected to SATA 6. No, it's connected to the USB 3, so it's connected up to 5 gigabits per second. So it's technically a little bit slower than what it would be if it was connected into a desktop computer. If it was connected to SATA 6, it would be a lot more fast connection. We've only got it connected to USB 3, not USB eSATA, because this will be this connector. I want to just show you real world results, what you would normally use, rather than using one of them cables. So let me just grab a file which is 700 megabytes, and I'm going to just drop it onto the desktop. See how fast it goes. Well, it was so quick I couldn't even show you the speed of it. So let's do that again. So this file I'm going to be dragging over is 2.81 gig, and we're going to see how quick it will go onto a normal local disk C, which is on my actual desktop computer. So we're going to see how fast that goes. Right, so it's saying around, whoa, why is it gone like that? It's calculating. Right, it's speeding back up. So we're at 107 megabytes per second. We're hitting, and it's slowed down again. I don't know what that's about. Speed it back up again. So we're reaching 108 megabytes per second, 140 megabytes per second, 123, 121. So around that, 123 is the top, and obviously that's the lowest end. I'm guessing computers having a fault. 140 megabytes per second, that's the sort of speed we're looking at. So now let's drop this back into the Icy dock where the file is. So I'm just going to put a test on here. Test. And I'm going to drop the files into here. And we've got like 320 megabytes per second. Almost triple the speed. That is ridiculous. That's a 2.8 gigabyte file just flying over straight away. So let's try and drop, I'm going to delete these files quickly off the top of here. And I'm going to drop them back onto the desktop. So now I'm going to use the Icy dock to go onto my local disk desktop, local disk C. See how quick it is. Wow! Okay, so we near enough hit over a gigabyte per second. To be honest with you, I don't know what's in this little thing, but this is one of the fastest little quad server drives ever I've ever used, and it's really quite good to know that I'm only using USB 3 up to 5 gigabits per second, and I haven't even used this cable. Now if I use this cable, it's going to be a gigabyte even faster than what you're looking at right now. So at home you normally have a 5 gig cable or blue cable, or you might have a black one which is like USB 1.1 or USB 2, because this is backwards compatible. So lowest speed you can get out of this is 480 megabits per second, and obviously the fastest speed you've just seen doesn't lie, it's really quite crazy. So let's talk more about the specs of what's in the actual, what drives I'm using, and obviously about the actual Icy Cube. Nearly said Icy dock, even though Icy dock is the name of the company. So let's talk more about the specs. So this is an Icy Cube, obviously the manufacturer's Icy dock. It has a quad tray. I've got one mechanical hard drive which is 3 terabytes, and I've got some other drives which are solid state drives which reach up to 550 megabytes per second read and write speeds. Now, so I've got optimized speed here, and also got a slower drive. So the slower drive that I've got is mechanical hard drive, it's 3 terabytes, and normally I can only reach up to a certain speed with that. I can't reach nowhere near the speeds I've got the solid state drives, but you saw how fast that was, solid state drive to another solid state drive, just using that and connecting it via USB 3. And then obviously this is eSATA, which I can get at 6 gigabits per second, or up to 6 gigabits per second in data speed transfer. So on the actual tray as well, it is hop swappable, so I can undo it and I can just take a drive out. Now what I've done with solid state drives, you don't really need to have 4 screws in there. I'll put 2 screws in there. If you put 1 screw in there, it will be kind of wonky to get out, so it's easy to get out. And obviously you can see that the drives have been read, and I've taken it out and it hasn't done anything to the actual drive itself. So this is an OCZ one, and this is a 480 gigabyte solid state drive. I've also got a Crucial drive, and this is a terabyte drive, solid state one. And I've got an Intel drive, which is 120 gig drive, and as you can hear in the background, it's going off and no problem. And then obviously a 3 terabyte mechanical hard drive. But just showing you, if you've got any other hard drives laying around, it's quite simple. All of these have got 2 screws in. I didn't bother putting like 1 or none because it would be stuck in there. And then obviously the mechanical hard drive inside has got 1 screw. It's only needed 1 screw because it's quite a big, it fills up the space in the tray, so it's no problem. So all I need to do is plug it in, like no problems. No light yet. And then when it's ready to read and hear that noise from Windows, in a sec, you'll see the LED lights flashing. And that's it connecting, and this is what I like about it. You can just easily swap the drives in and out, no problem, and it's ready to go. Now this also works in Mac and obviously Windows, so the old Macs all the way to the new Macs, and also Windows computers all the way from Windows Vista all the way to Windows 10. So that's the end of the review. Hope you liked it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. What did you think about the speeds? Comment down below. Have you got an Icy Cube? If you have, let me know, and tell me if you've used one of these cables as well. I don't want to use one because not everyone's got one of these, so if we're one of more of the tech heads out there, it'd be nice to know what results you've got. And yes, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.